From Francis Marion University here in Florence, South Carolina, this is Conference Carolinas basketball. This is the women's basketball matchup between the visiting Lees McRae Bobcats and the host Francis Marion University Patriots. Patriots come in victorious, coming in off of their first Conference Carolinas victory. They beat then first place King University yesterday on Pearl Moore night, and that was to honor the recent induction into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, Pearl Moore, who played for the Francis Marion University Patriots. She remains as the women's basketball scoring leader in all of NCAA basketball with 4,061 points for her career. That record still stands today. We'll get into some statistics and some other things in a moment, but I want to first introduce the starters for both squads. For Lees McRae College, starting is number 3, Michaela Smith. Number 5, Destiny Johnson. Johnson is a guard. Michaela Smith also a guard. Michaela Smith a senior. Smith a junior. Johnson a senior. Number 15, Aurora Roberts, a guard junior. Number 15, Malika Myers, a forward. She is a senior. Number 32, Jessica Henderson, a guard, a junior. So a very upper-class laden squad is Lees McRae, but that upperclassman laden starting squad is still in search of their first victory. They come in to this matchup at 0-3 in Conference Carolinas plays, 0-5 overall. Lees McRae is coached by Keith Jennings, assisted by Jatera Hurst. And for Francis Marion University, number 4, Scarlett Gilmore. She is a guard, junior from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Another guard. Number 11, Anaya Oliver. She is a guard from Goose Creek, South Carolina. She is a sophomore. Number 15, Zaria Woods. She plays both forward and takes some time in the center position at 5'10". She is a junior from Lancaster, South Carolina. Number 25, Kiana Lee, guard, 5'9" freshman from North Augusta, and also a center. Number 32, Lauren Taylor, center, 6 foot from a sophomore from Blythewood, South Carolina. So I was talking a little bit about Lees McRae struggling to find a victory. Yesterday, they fell to UNC Pembroke by a 66-32 margin. LMC efforting for their first win of the season, as I mentioned earlier. Aurora Roberts, a high point in what was otherwise a rough match yesterday. Aurora Roberts yesterday led the way for Lees McRae, the Bobcats, with 15 points in their loss. The only starter with a sub-400 field goal percentage is Malika Myers for Lees McRae. So Key is going to be getting better shots and efforting to that extent for Lees McRae. FMU, the victory over then first place King by an 89-70 margin. Zaria Woods led the way with 16 points, 17 in fact. Lauren Taylor, Scarlett Gilmore, Kiana Lee, 13 points each in the victory. That was FMU's first victory in Conference Carolinas play. They moved to 1-3. So we've gotten things started here with Lees McRae winning the tip. Good ball movement up the top for the Bobcats, trying to work their way underneath. Jump shot fails from number 23, Malika Myers. Here comes the Patriots. Nia Oliver controls things. Lauren Taylor underneath, trying to do her magic underneath. She definitely has a size differential, a size advantage there underneath against Lees McRae. You can see that right away. However, good defense on the side of LMC. Return the ball to the Bobcats. So Bobcats bring up the ball. Quiet start for both squads. Malika Myers holds the ball up top. Jessica Henderson tries to toss it up there, but it's going to be a push-off foul. A foul on the shot. That's going to be the foul for Lauren Taylor.
Number 32, Lauren Taylor.
So pardon me, that was away from the shot. So instead, Lees McRae is going to take that ball. That is the first foul of the game. Destiny Johnson brings the ball in. Jessica Henderson takes that ball underneath. She is at the elbow. Quick shot from her. No luck on that. Bringing up the ball again is Oliver. Underneath for the first basket of the game. Good work by Oliver to get the ball underneath to Lauren Taylor for a bucket. Nice lay-in by her. Jessica Henderson with the ball. Out on the wing is number 5, Destiny Johnson. Another shot is missed, so already missing shots is Lees McRae. Instead, Gilmore is going to take the wide open three-pointer. In and out is the shot. Quality rebound by Zaria Woods. Kick out, and the Patriots reset. Anaya Oliver with the ball. Man-to-man is the defense for Lees McRae early on here with 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. Oliver drives the lane and draws the foul. And that'll be against Destiny Johnson. Anaya Oliver will go to the line for 2 opportunities for free throws. Oliver drains the first. We'll await the second. We'll look for rebounding on the side of Lees McRae. Defensive rebounding is going to be key. Underneath is 23 Malika Myers, along with number 15 Aurora Roberts, but to no avail. Both baskets, both free throws for Oliver. FMU now employing a full court press. Lees McRae does break that. They do get that down underneath and into half court. More misses on the side of Lees McRae. And finally, Lees McRae fortunate to knock that ball down. Good work by Malika Myers. Takes care of the rebound, knocks that ball down for the first points of the game for the Bobcats. Half court offense is the Patriots. Down underneath again is Lauren Taylor. Unfortunately, mishandling is Lauren Taylor. Here comes Lees McRae. Oh, and a mishandle for Lees McRae. I think Michaela Smith could really taste the lay-in coming, but unfortunately that taste really had to come before corralling the pass. She couldn't do it. That ball sails out of bounds. FMU will take the ball. Scarlett Gilmore to bring it up. No pressure from Lees McRae. Lees McRae more than willing to allow the Patriots to take their half-court offense and set it up. Lees McRae has switched to his own right away, and FMU breaks that almost immediately. Basket from Zaria Woods. No problem breaking the zone from the Bobcats. So the Bobcats go ahead and bring it up. Patriots with an early 6-2 lead. We are 3 minutes into the first quarter here at the Smith University Center. Malika Myers trying to get some work done. However, it is a foul against Lees McRae. So that'll be against Aurora Roberts. So another opportunity for the Patriots, already leading 6-2. More zone from Lees McRae. Lees McRae opened the game in a man defense, and they have switched to a zone. Good steal by Lees McRae's Aurora Roberts, but unfortunately on that steal, she tipped that ball, and the ball did go out of bounds. Good work by Aurora Roberts. She had every bit of momentum to drive for 2, but instead that ball went out of bounds. Good work on the defensive end by her. FMU Zaria Woods triple teamed underneath temporarily in that zone. So instead, how about an in and out from Scarlett Gilmore, rebound to LMC. Some up and down dribbling on the side of Michaela Smith. She's not controlling that dribble to the extent that she needs to allow her momentum to get underneath the basket. And in fact, the result was a missed lay-in a moment ago. Rebound by the Bobcats, and LMC takes the ball slowly into their half court. Jessica Henderson was in between the circles. Pick work by Malika Myers, but to no avail. That shot went awry. The pick from Malika Myers was great, but no movement on the offense from Lees McRae to generate offense on that pick. Instead, it was an immediate shot. We're going to get our first timeout on the floor. That's going to be the timeout from Lees McRae. So for Lees McRae, they are down 8-2. Thanks for joining us on the Patriot Sports Network.
This is Conference Carolinas.
Thanks again for joining us on the FMU Patriot Sports Network. Patriots, as you can see, have initiated an 8-2 lead over the LMC Bobcats. The LMC Bobcats efforting for their first victory of the season and first in Conference Carolinas. They come in to this match at 0-3 in Conference Carolinas, 0-5 overall. As for FMU comes into play at 1-3 after a thrilling victory yesterday over then first placed King. FMU is up to 1-3 in Conference Carolinas, 2-4 overall. FMU yesterday shot a blazing 537 as a team from the field. So FMU really hoping to repeat that effort out on the floor today. And so far they are hitting at a 500 clip early on. So we're going to get started after the timeout, media timeout, the timeout for Lees McRae. Lees McRae is going to bring that ball up. That was certainly a media timeout. Jessica Henderson moves that ball around. Back to the top to Michaela Smith. Still trying to get a shot generated, and they do so. This time, the bucket from Destiny Johnson, kind of a pull-up shot from about 8 feet. Good work by her to create a little bit of space. Drive the lane, pulls back, drop it down for 2. Nia Oliver, quick pass over to Kiana Lee. Skip it over back to Oliver. Oliver's going to go ahead and drive against the zone. Kicks it back to Gilmore. Gilmore can't quite make it. Great offensive rebound. Lauren Taylor with the offensive rebound and the putback. Look at that wonderful work by Lauren Taylor. So she goes ahead and follows the shot, grabs the rebound, and then the putback. Great work by her. LMC in action here, trying to get things going. They have only tallied 4 points so far today. Well, make it 6 driving the lane. Great work by Michaela Smith to drive her way down and underneath. Lees McRae starting to gain a little bit of momentum, kind of waking up here. They did have a flat start, but they have since started to pick up their work on defense. A couple of good steals and some good rebounding on the offensive end, resulting in a couple of points here and there. Good steal again by the Bobcats in that zone defense. Destiny Johnson brings it all the way up. She's going to do it herself, but unfortunately she misses, follows her shot, gets the rebound, pressure underneath, and it's going to be no call. I think Lees McRae faithful were probably hoping for a foul call on that one. Instead, Patriots get the rebound. Another great steal by Aurora Roberts. Great work by Aurora Roberts to work her way into the zone to get the ball on that steal. Fantastic work by her. Entering the game for Lees McRae, Brianna Wright. She is a senior from Whitsett, North Carolina. Wright's going to bring up the ball. Patriots content in a man-to-man defense so far. Today they have not shown any other defensive style except man. Working on the rebound, they do finally get it, do the Patriots. Patriots try for a little bit of a fast break, but Lees McRae was very disciplined. They got back in time to put the defense on. Lauren Taylor drives the lane and just rims in and out. There's going to be a foul against Lees McRae. That'll be against Malika Meyer. She's a forward senior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, transfer from Caldwell Community College. It's going to be 2 shots for Lauren Taylor. In the game now for the Patriots is Janiyah Haygood. Also entering the game for Lees McRae, Ariana Lizarraga. Make the first is Lauren Taylor. Good work by Taylor. Patriots lead 11-6, though. Lees McRae starting to come around here, starting to play a little bit more energized and charged defense. They've also been true on the offensive end as well. They're starting to generate the kind of offense that they want. They've been moving the ball inside and out to try to get some shots going. Early on in this game, they were really only working their way around the perimeter without much success getting the ball anywhere near underneath. Since then, they have had some success working that ball down underneath. Great work by Lizarraga. Unfortunately, that ball goes in and out. Patriots get another rebound. Anaya Oliver handles the point work for the Patriots. Back to Oliver. Oliver whips it around to Richards. Now in the game, Janiyah Richards, number 21 from Greenville, South Carolina. Richards with the ball. She takes it down to the baseline. Open up shot. Zaria Woods gets the rebound, corrals the rebound, and then the putback. And it's been the rebound plus putback action for the Patriots bigs that has resulted in this lead of 14-6. A couple of quality putbacks from Zaria Woods, also one from Lauren Taylor. I've already named 3. There's 6 points right there of the Patriots' 14 points, all on rebounds and putbacks. Another rebound for the Patriots. Good work by Richards to corral the rebound. And Oliver gets it inside through the zone. It's going to be a charge call. A charge call against the Patriots. Good zone work on the side of LMC. That's going to be a foul against Zaria Woods. Bringing up the ball is Brianna White. Right with the ball. Being bothered a little bit by Jada Richards. Jada Richards doing a good job, really with a tight man defense there. Good pick work by the side. More of a screen by Malika Myers, generating a shot. Back to the point is Lise McRae. Oh, and a foul on the fingertips. It's going to be a reach on the foul of Jada Richards. So Richards was trying to defend the shot of Lise McRae and that shot of Jasmine Stanley, but that shot did clip the arm of in defense. That ball was touching and contacting the shooter, therefore an honest call against Richards of the Patriots. Missing the first free throw. Brianna Wright attempts her second. Wright makes the second. Okay, so the first one was a lane violation, so that was the repeat on that shot. So for Wright, she'll get another chance at it. And Wright misses the second, so she is 1 for 2, and technically 1 for 3, although one of those shots didn't count due to the lane violation against the Patriots. She had another opportunity at it. Anaya Oliver back at the point. Gets it over to Richards. Inside to number 13, Kiana Bryant now in the game for the Patriots. And it's going to be a foul against Lise McRae. So the Patriots have decided to try to work their way underneath. Try to work their way underneath and through the zone defense of Lise McRae College. And in doing so, though, Lizarraga with the blocking foul. That's a free throw opportunity for Anaya Oliver. She'll have 2 shots. Rims in and out is the first. FMU doubling up LMC with only about a minute to go here in the first quarter. It's really been momentum to the side of the Patriots. We've seen signs of life from LMC for good parts of this game. However, it's been mostly the Patriots. I like the sportsmanship going on out there. Good quality sportsmanship. Brianna Wright picking up Brianna Richards. Richards, I think, took an elbow or a hand to her belly. That knocked her down in pain. But classy work by Brianna Wright. And the Bobcats, she just goes over and in good sportsmanship, sportsmanlike, she goes ahead and helps her up. Entering the game for the Patriots, number 21, back in the game is Janiyah Haygood. Haygood works her way down underneath, trying to get some clarity out on the floor. The Patriots are going to not defend the inbound on this one for the Bobcats. Bringing in the ball is Jasmine Stanley. Stanley's going to bring in that ball to number 32. Pardon me, Brianna White is going to bring that ball into 32, Jessica Henderson. Henderson brings it up. She's going to try to drive the lane. Zaria Woods in good position. Woods with the steal. Patriots on a fast break. Up, down, in and out. Jasmine May can't quite knock it down. Now double teamed. Big pressure against Zaria Woods. Zaria Woods tries to dish that ball outside to Jasmine May. However, she missed on trying to get that over. Good pressure, good trap pressure by the Bobcats there. Patriots now going to show just a little bit of full court pressure, some man pressure in the full court. We'll have to see how the Patriots decide to defend a little bit later and how Lees McRae breaks it. They broke that nicely, that defense, and creates a good quality shot for Tylen Smith. Tylen Smith misses in and out. Here comes Anaya Oliver. Oliver thinks twice about driving the lane. Instead, she's going to wait, get it underneath to Zaria Woods. Woods, no problem, knocking that ball down. And with 10 seconds to go, the Bobcats are going to try to get something going. Moving around at the top of the point, top of the circles. 2 seconds left. Lees McRae trying to generate a shot. They can't get a shot off. Good defense by the Patriots to prevent Lees McRae College from getting a shot off. FMU with a 10-point lead as we conclude the first quarter. Thanks again for joining us on the FMU Patriot Sports Network.
The Swamp Fox Club is a fundraising arm of the Francis Marion University Athletic Department, and it supplies assistance to all 14 intercollegiate sports. On behalf of the student athletes at Francis Marion, I would like to thank all those who are members of the Swamp Fox Club for their support.
Thank you.
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 After one quarter, Francis Marion women's basketball leads Lees McRae College Bobcats by a 17-7 clip. In large part, it has been the shooting percentage for both squads that is the tail of the tape. For Francis Marion, field goal percentage 50%, 6 of 12 from the field. They're 0 from the three-point line. However, Lees McRae only 3 for 17, hitting at a 17.6 clip from the field. They're going to have to up those numbers just a little bit if they intend to get back in this. So far, the Patriots have been relatively dominant for most of the game, including that entirety of that first quarter. Lees McRae with possession. Working the ball around the top and around the arc is Lees McRae. Continuing to work that ball around. Having a hard time generating a shot. Shot clock down to 6. So how about the shot from number 22, Brianna Wright? That ball clangs off the rim. Fast break for the Patriots. Circling around in a dipsy-do of sorts was Jasmine May. She nearly looped around the defender, dribbled literally in a circle to try to knock that down. Unfortunately, she rimmed out. Bobcats with the ball back again. That's Jessica Henderson bringing the ball up. She is between the circles, trying to get things started, directing traffic for her Bobcats. Back to Wright. Around to Malika Myers, inside and out. So better passing from Lees McRae Bobcats on this possession. And it's going to be a charge call. Zaria Woods stuck in there, and she's in some pain. You can see her stumbling after getting knocked down on that possession after getting the charge. So for the Patriots, entering the game is going to be Scarlett Gilmore, and also coming in is number 25, Kiana Lee. We'll have to see how Zaria Woods recovers after taking a fall there taking the charge and getting that possession back. Charge called against Malika Myers. All right, so the Patriots with possession, trying to work the ball down underneath. Lauren Taylor back to Lee, around to Anaya Oliver. Oliver not even close on that shot. Unfortunately, rebound is on the side of Lees McRae. Better ball movement in this quarter for Lees McRae so far, but they're still having a hard time taking good shots. This time, talking about a great shot. How about the Malika Myers reach on the glass? Great work by Malika Myers to grab a rebound and then turn and gun and get that basket. Zaria Woods underneath to Lauren Taylor. Great ball movement. Again, I can't credit enough the ball movement for the Patriots trying to work their way around the green and yellow Bobcat jerseys in a zone defense. So they do so very nicely, moving that ball around inside and then back out and then back in again. Frees up Lauren Taylor for the lay-in. Shot from Jessica Henderson looks good. I do think that was Henderson on that shot. Pardon me, that is going to be Malika Myers on that one. So a good knockdown, 2 by Malika Myers. Bobcats would be thrilled if Myers got hot from the field. So far, the shooting has been quite cold on the side of the Bobcats. Running the court is Olivia King, junior from Lincolnton, North Carolina. Good movement away from the ball is King. King works her way down underneath. She's going to try to match up against Lauren Taylor. She tries to, but doesn't quite get that ball to go down. Taylor in good position. Oh, I like the defense from Aurora Roberts. Had Aurora Roberts not gotten her fingertips on it, it had been an easy lay-in for Scarlett Gilmore. So good work by Aurora Roberts to defend on the fast break to slow things up to prevent the Patriots from an easy bucket. Instead, the Patriots inbound. Anaya Oliver with the ball. Back to Gilmore. Trying to get that pass around, and you can see the motion of Zaria Woods. She's grabbing her wrist saying, hey, I was fouled, but to no avail. That call is not going to happen. Instead, she shoots that ball out of bounds. Possession, easy possession, back into the hands of the Bobcats. Lees McRae beginning to defend a little bit better, trying to figure out the Patriot offense. However, the only challenge that Lees McRae has is they've had a tough time generating points. Still with only 11 points here, and we are moving into midway through the second quarter. Lees McRae with possession. Good defense by Anaya Oliver. Oliver's going to get called, pardon me, a foul away from the ball. And that's going to bring 2 new players into the court for the Patriots, Jasmine Stanley and Malia Owens on the floor. So Malia Owens is going to give Anaya Oliver a break. Malia Owens brings the ball up, point guard for the Patriots. Stanley with a mishandle. That's going to result in a free opportunity for Lees McRae and the lay-in, easily done by Destiny Johnson. The Patriots will have to regroup here. Probably their first really bad mishandle, allowing for an easy bucket for Lees McRae. Shot from Jasmine Stanley. Good rebound by Lauren Taylor. Lauren Taylor goes back up, and the foul is going to get called against Aurora Roberts. Aurora Roberts is not too happy about that. She's getting worked by Lauren Taylor. Lauren Taylor, very physical underneath, very strong with her handles, and at 6 feet tall, she is a very, very difficult player to handle. So the officials are going to discuss a call here. I think what they're waiting to see is if there is any chance that this is a flagrant call or not. From my estimation, it is not. Oh, in fact, they're pointing that it is, the foul is actually on the floor. So it is going to be a technical foul, and that's what they have sorted out. So Lauren Taylor is going to take the tee opportunity, and that ball clanged the rim at least 3 or 4 times before going down. Count the tee, and the first free throw for Taylor. Second shot from Taylor, no good. Patriots are going to take another free throw. Okay, so the convergence and the talk for the squad was there was going to be a technical foul and then also an additional foul called. I wasn't able to get the players' jersey numbers as to where those fouls were called against, but now Scarlett Gilmore is going to shoot. Gilmore knocks down the first. And the foul is against Olivia King for Lees McRae. Gilmore made the first, knocks down the second. So the Patriots 3 for 4 on that free throw exchange. So nice situation for the Patriots to put 3 points up with the clock stopped. Patriots also retain possession. So inbounding to Malia Owens, the point guard for the Patriots. Owens over to Lee, quickly underneath to Stanley. The long and lengthy Lauren Stanley reaches, finds daylight, but can't quite knock down the ball. Lees McRae having a hard time with ball handling here. That seems to be a key for the Bobcats. Ball back up at the top is Jessica Henderson, but she's going to work her way down underneath, in and out. Another shot, another attempt. Instead, Henderson tried to corral the rebound, but the ball glanced off of a teammate in Destiny Johnson out of bounds. That's actually going to go possession Patriots. So the officials are going to converge again and make sure they clarify what they saw. But in the meantime, timeout on the floor. Patriots lead 24-13. So we're back at the Smith University Center. 4:59 to go in the second quarter. FMU with a fantastic lead at 24-13, leading the way for Francis Marion. Zaria Woods with 10 points already on the day, 9 points for Lauren Taylor. So the Bigs have really had their way with Lees McRae so far today. Leading the way for Lees McRae, 6 points for Myers, 4 points for Destiny Johnson. So we're back in action, trying to skip that pass, more of a rainbow pass across to another teammate. Great work underneath is Lauren Stanley. Rebound and the putback and the score. Lauren Stanley with her first bucket of the day. Good work by Lauren Stanley to muscle her way down underneath. She's going to get one opportunity for a free throw stroke. Stanley knocks it down, so she gets the and one to go. FMU has opened up a 27-13 lead. Lizarraga comes in for the Bobcats. A little bit of kind of moderate man pressure are the Patriots giving Lees McRae to bring the ball up, but not enough pressure to prevent LMC from bringing the ball up. Henderson has the ball. Works it underneath. Good work getting that ball underneath. Good ball movement. 3-point attempt from Jessica Henderson goes awry. Patriots have the ball again. Malia Owens down underneath to Lauren Taylor. Scarlett Gilmore had the handle and lost the handle. Had she gotten the handle, she'd be able to knock down a free throw or knock down a layup underneath. Instead, foul against on the Patriots. That's going to go ball to the possession of the Bobcats. The Bobcats again with possession. We got to see if they can finally generate some offense. The problem for LMC, they're hitting at a 24% clip from the floor. That just won't get it done. LMC's got to start knocking down some shots or it's going to be a headache playing against the Patriots for the remainder of this afternoon match. Another foul on the floor. That's going to be against Lizarraga on the foul. And now the Patriots are in the bonus. Lauren Taylor's going to go to the line. Brianna Wright into the game for the Bobcats. Bobcats having a hard time generating offense. They've demonstrated some quality defense throughout the day and even generated a little bit of offensive opportunity. They're just not knocking down their shots. If LMC can start making a few shots, I could see them slowly working their way into this game. It's going to be hard to do so, though, with the length and strength of Lauren Taylor really having her way underneath the rim against the Bobcats. Lauren Taylor already on the day, 11 points. Taylor's 5 for 6 from the free throw stripe. So Liz McRae trying to work some things around. They're starting to get their ball movement to work. Underneath, another quality opportunity is Malika Myers, but instead the putback from Destiny Johnson. So the miss from Malika Myers, the make from number 5, Destiny Johnson. Good putback by Johnson. Great effort by Liz McRae on that one. Back underneath is Lauren Taylor. Taylor misses, but then the putback from Lauren Stanley, and Lauren Taylor comes up just a little bit lame. I think she connected hips with the Liz McRae defender on that one. Stanley with a rebound. On the run is the Patriots. Malaya Owens works that ball down underneath. It's going to be a travel against Lauren Taylor. Taylor with a good opportunity for another bucket. Taylor kind of still moving a little gingerly after the prior possession. She did bump hips with another Liz McRae player while she was driving the lane. And then there, the mishandle results in a point, or results in the ball back to Liz McRae. Back at the elbow, Michaela Smith decides to bring it back out. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Underneath, good work by Lizarraga. She misses, so more opportunities missed by Liz McRae. Lizarraga was underneath, had a chance at the bucket, couldn't get it. That ball is going to be knocked out by a defender for the Bobcats. Brianna Wright got her fingertips on it, so that'll be possession Patriots. Patriots with the inbound. No pressure on the inbound. Malia Owens with the ball. Working the ball around the arc. I like the work from Kiana Lee on that one. Trying to work to get the ball back. She does get what is really a free ball on the ground, picks it up, starts to drive. She has an opportunity for free throws. This will be a 1-and-1. Brianna Wright is called on that foul. So a 1-and-1 opportunity for Kiana Lee. Good bucket from Lee. Pardon me, not a 1-and-1. It is 2 strokes for her. She misses the second, however, offensive rebound from Lauren Taylor. Malia Owens kicks it back to Stanley. Stanley with kind of an errant pass. A hard time with possession in the midcourt for either team. Neither team getting a handle. Finally, the putback for the Bobcats. Good work by Destiny Johnson to get that ball to go down. Malia Owens brings it up again quietly. Liz McRae is starting to find a little bit of life out on the floor. Their defense has really shored up nicely. Still in that zone defense, 2-3 defense, 2-3 zone defense is Liz McRae. It's starting to cause problems for the Patriots. So it's going to be a foul. That foul is against Malika Myers. Back into the game is Jessica Henderson, while Gilmore prepares for her free throw. Scarlett Gilmore at the line. Calms down. You can see a good look at her focus there. Up and easy. Down and in. Nice work by Scarlett Gilmore to knock down the front end of her 2 free throw attempts. We'll watch for offensive rebounding here. It has been a success, even on free throws. Have the Patriots successfully obtained a couple of misses on offensive rebounds off of free throws. So even in poor position as it's lined up, still able to work the undersized Lees McRae squad. Great effort by Jessica Henderson to work the steal. Henderson works to get the steal. That ball glances back off of Malia Owens. That ball goes out of bounds. Possession to Lees McRae. Good effort by Jessica Henderson on that one. Inbounding is Brianna White. No pressure from the Patriots there. Brianna White inbounds to Jessica Henderson. Inside and out. Lizarraga had the ball underneath, but outside back to Lizarraga. Lizarraga, good work making her way to the rim, but she can't quite knock it down. Possession on the run is the Patriots. Scarlett Gilmore on the run, but she gets blocked. Good work by Lees McRae to get back on that fast break attempt. Lees McRae satisfied with slowing things down. We have not seen a fast break from Lees McRae too significantly today, whereas the Patriots have gone with the fast break on several occasions. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lees McRae working the ball around. There's a quality shot from Brianna Wright. Again, that ball clangs off the rim. Another rebound for the Patriots. Underneath to Lauren Thompson. Lauren Taylor. Taylor with a bucket to finish things off. And that's the end of the second quarter. FMU with a 36-17 lead. Thanks again for joining us on the FMU Patriot Sport Network. And we'll be back to give you a recap of the first half.
The world is changing, and Francis Marion University is leading the way as it prepares the young men and women for the future. We've added 5 new classroom buildings and 13 new academic programs in the past 6 years, and more are on the way. We're preparing to build a new environmental research center. We're expanding programs in engineering, business, education, healthcare, and the arts and sciences, and we're adding new fields when they're needed. When tomorrow comes, we'll be ready. Best of all, our students will too.
So welcome back to the Smith University Center, where the Patriots have a commanding 36-17 lead over the Lees McRae Bobcats in the 2 o'clock matinee. This is the first of 2 matches we're going to get today here at the Smith University Center. First, the women's matchup between the Patriots and the Bobcats, and either a half an hour following the first game or at 4 o'clock, it will be Lees McRae, the men, facing off against the gentlemen from Francis Marion. So let's get a recap of the first half here, where the Patriots have a strong 36-17 lead. It really comes down to the Patriots bigs having their way with Lees McRae offensively. 13 points for Lauren Taylor, 10 for Zaria Woods, many of those underneath, many of those off of rebounds. And in fact, Lauren Taylor already with 8 rebounds on the day, 5 of those offensive. Zaria Woods with 5 rebounds credited. Jasmine Stanley with 5 also. So already in this game, 29 rebounds for the Francis Marion squad. For Lees McRae, scoring-wise, it was really a bit thin. Destiny Johnson with 8 points, 6 points for Malika Myers. But the tail of the tape, and I always say the tail of the tape, the reason for this great differential for the game, Lees McRae shooting at only a 23% clip from the field. For the Patriots, they're hitting at a 44% clip. So for the Patriots, very, very effective getting their ball underneath the rim to really have their way with Lees McRae. Francis Marion is going to be on the road here for the next 2 games after this one. They'll be at Chowan University on December 15th. That's a 2 o'clock matchup. and December 18th at Southern Wesleyan. That also is a 2 o'clock outing. So we're going to come back with about 3 minutes left to go in the halftime break, where the Patriots lead 36-17. Thank you for joining us on the Patriot Sports Network.
Let me paint you a picture. All of the graduates, all of the faculty, all of the administration, all of the Board of Trustees is decked out in their regalia. Their black robes, their hats, their gold tassels. It's just a most beautiful picture of a very formal kind of occasion. And here we march into the gymnasium, and the music is playing, and the gym is packed. And as we come in, and as you look up at all those people, you see families, huge families. You see not just mama and daddy and two brothers and a sister, but there's grandmama and granddaddy, there's the aunt and the uncle, they're the cousins, they're the next door neighbors. And you know why all those people are there? Because this is the very first one, the very first graduate. And I can guarantee you that when you go to that graduation, you leave with a tear in your eye. Because it's so, so special.
The desire and the love to take care of people is something that you kind of have innate. You kind of just have that thing. But Francis Marion gave me the principles, and they taught me the core values. They taught me leadership qualities, and they've just been foundational and offered a family that I can keep going back to. So even though my personal biological family didn't go to a university, and I didn't really get any wisdom from them for that, I gained a family that could tell me all about college and even the afterlife of college by coming to Francis Marion. And I'm not sure you would have that with, other universities. Throughout the nurse practitioner program, you're already a nurse, and you're a devoted nurse, and you don't want to just quit. And that was another thing I specifically picked this program, was because I was able to look at the curriculum and know that I could work. I even asked a couple of the professors, one being Dr. Hopla, before I started the program, and even she told me, yes, you can still work while you do this. And I did. I worked 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. Sometimes it had to be six days a week to get my 40 hours in, and I still did the nurse practitioner program. It wasn't easy, but nothing worth having is easy. So, which the benefit of having classmates and professors that were both working and studying is, we would get worked up and worried about how would we ever do this. And then they would say, well, I can work these 2 12-hour shifts on the weekends and then have the week to study. Or a professor may say, well, you can get creative with your hours here. So you can tell that they've done this, that you can tell that they've gotten creative with their time as well. And then all of a sudden it doesn't feel like such a daunting task because, again, you gain wisdom from their experience.
Choosing a college isn't easy. There are lots of choices to make and so many variables to consider. How do you know when you've found just the right place? The right college will make you feel at home, and that begins with a sense of place. At Francis Marion University, we have a beautiful campus that's safe, well-maintained, and filled with smiling faces. It's the kind of place where you feel you belong, where you wake up in the morning and know that the day ahead will be one you'll savor and enjoy. Now, that doesn't mean life at FMU is easy. There will be challenges. Hard work is expected. We take our academics seriously. You should too. Earning one of our degrees is a real achievement. But some toil, some time invested in a difficult task, that's okay. That's how you grow, how you become someone. FMU is a comprehensive public university, and when it comes to academics, our students have a wide range of choices. We offer more than 75 majors and courses of study. Our professional schools in healthcare, engineering, business, and education are all well-known and respected across the state. At the same time, the arts and the sciences remain the core of what we do. They are the perfect foundation for a successful career and a meaningful life. Programs are important, and we'll continue to work to produce new curriculum that meets the needs of our changing world. But we also know that a great education is less about what is taught and more about who is doing the teaching. FMU's faculty is made up of distinguished scholars and renowned researchers. They're experts in their field and expert teachers too. They love the give and take of the classroom and revel in the progress their students make. In FMU's intimate academic environment, where small classes are the norm, you'll get to know a lot of these dedicated men and women. Some you will remember forever. The academic work and its rewards are why you are here. But there will be a time and place for play too. We have more than 60 different student organizations and field teams in 14 NCAA sports. A robust schedule of extracurriculars is a big part of each semester. You'll find space here for rest and relaxation. You'll make new friends and build relationships that last a lifetime. And then, almost as quickly as it all began, it will be over. You will graduate and move on to a life and career full of promise. You'll leave memories behind. You'll leave FMU, but you'll be welcome back anytime. Home is like that, Welcome home. Welcome to FMU.
Welcome back to the Francis Marion University and the Smith Center. We're back for the second half of the women's matchup. This is the 2 o'clock Conference Carolinas matchup between the visiting Lees McRae Bobcats and the Francis Marion University Patriots. So the Patriots really had a strong showing in the first half. 36-17 is the tally after 2 quarters for the Patriots. Leading the way offensively, I mentioned them before, Lauren Taylor and Zaria Woods, 2 of Francis Marion's bigs, really having their way with Lise McRae underneath the rim. Lauren Taylor with 13 points on the day already, 10 for Zaria Woods. Stanley kicked in 5, Gilmore 4, 3 for Anaya Oliver, 1 lone free throw stroke for Kiana Lee is the scoring for the Patriots for all those 36. Francis Marion, no problem regarding fouls. Only Richardson has 2, Lauren Taylor with 1, and Zaria Woods with 1, each of them when doing their work underneath the rim. Rebounding, Lauren Taylor with 8 rebounds, 4 rebounds for Anaya Oliver, 5 for Stanley. For Lise McRae, offensively, Johnson with 8 points, Myers with 6. Those are the key players, but fouls are a real problem for Lise McRae. Lise McRae in some foul trouble. 2 of their players have 3 fouls already. Those 2 players are, get you those players in just a moment. Those players are, let's see here. Number 23, Malika Myers, and also number 15, Aurora Roberts. So with those 2 in some foul trouble, there is a question mark there as to how their squad is going to go, and that's going to be a real key for them. Aurora Roberts, one of the top scorers for Lise McRae, tallying more than 8 points a game. Malika Myers handling the ball quite a bit now. She scores about 5 points a game, but she's seen much more significant action so far today. So Lise McRae is going to go ahead and get things started. We're ready to start with the second half. For Lise McRae, Michaela Smith bringing in the ball. She'll toss the ball into Jessica Henderson. Still no pressure from the Patriots on the inbound of Lise McRae. That's been the trend all day. For Lise McRae, handling the ball, a quick shot and a make is Malika Myers. So when in doubt, keep shooting is Malika Myers. So that 24% field goal percentage early on in the first half did not deter Myers. Myers knocks down the first shot of the second half for Lise McRae. Back underneath is Zaria Woods. This time Woods can't quite knock it down. Good pressure from Lise McRae. Lise McRae with a good start to this second half. They've got some work to do. They started the half down 36-19, but instead they make another bucket. So 2 for 2 to start the second half is Lise McRae to start out the third quarter. Little shake and bake from number 11, Anaya Oliver. Good pressure underneath is Michaela Smith. However, Smith gets called for the foul. I think for Lise McRae, they're going to have to be as physical as they can be against Lauren Taylor and also Zaria Woods if they want to put pressure on the long, strong center and forward for the Patriots. Lauren Taylor at the line, clips the front of the rim, and that ball drops down for a bucket. First point of the second half for FMU. Taylor again, this one rims in and out. Rebounding is the Patriots. Can't quite get it done. Instead, possession to the Bobcats. Jessica Henderson, who has handled the point guard duties for Lise McRae most of the game, does again bring the ball up for Lise McRae. Underneath, and really being trapped is Aurora Roberts. The result is that Roberts travels possession back to the Patriots. Patriots quietly bring it up. Quietly meaning no pressure from Lise McRae. Lee's got the ball on the angle of the arc. Taylor up at the top. Over to Gilmore. Gilmore to Anaya Oliver. Good ball movement by the Patriots. Lauren Taylor turned, but she turned the wrong way. If she had turned inside, she'd have had wide open space. Instead, she turns outside. Not a good angle for her to get the lay-in. Also, good defense from Lise McRae. A missed three-point attempt from Aurora Roberts. Here come the Patriots. Patriots content to take the ball underneath to Zaria Woods. No defense against Woods whatsoever. Woods takes one turn toward the rim, knocks it down. Henderson over to Malika Myers. Good defense on the side of the Patriots and Kiana Lee. She was chasing, trying to get that ball corralled so that she could chase down a layup. She would have had it, except when she tipped that ball on the defense, that ball went out of bounds. So possession back to Lise McRae. Patriots remain in a man-to-man defense. Some scrambling work, and the steal is Anaya Oliver. Oliver handles that ball. Lauren Taylor decides to step back and go with a shot from about 12 feet. She misses. Rebound action from Lise McRae. It's going to be possession to the Patriots. Inbounds to Gilmore. There's a shot from Lee. Double teamed is Zaria Woods. Traveling against Zaria Woods, so too much pressure from Lise McRae. Nice work by Lise McRae to put the pressure on, forcing Zaria Woods to try to make some decisions. While doing so, she did juggle her feet. Possession back to Lise McRae. Henderson brings the ball up. Bobcats really have a hill to climb here. They are down by 18. They've shown some life here early on in the second half. They made their first two shots of the second half. But since then, it's gone quiet again. Patriots with possession. Back to Woods. Woods juggles her feet again. She's trying to pull up for the shot up at the top of the key. Can't quite get it done. It's a travel call. Back to the Bobcats. Destiny Johnson gets the ball and gives thanks to a Patriots fan who got that ball back to her. Good teamsmanship, sportsmanship by that of the Lise McRae player to be thankful for a kind FMU fan. Possession back to Lise McRae. After a miss, it's possession. Patriots, fast break. Taylor tries for the lay-in. Now we're going to get a jump ball. I like that effort on that jump ball. Michaela Smith, along with Kiana Lee, both had possession. Kiana Lee not happy that she couldn't quite get possession of that ball. She was pretty fired up, and the Patriot faithful also a little bit fired up. She was putting in quality effort to get that ball back. Jasmine Stanley is awaiting entry into this game at the next break. Lise McRae underneath. They work successfully underneath. So Destiny Johnson does a nice job working around the longer defense of the Patriots. Johnson takes care of business for a bucket for the Bobcats. Oh, good ball movement. Anaya Oliver knocks down all three of these. Oliver with the tray. Good ball movement, gets that ball inside and then back out and around to Oliver. Oliver knocks down the tray. Bobcats moving the ball around the arc. Still struggling to get possession and shots inside of the arc. Patriots are more than content to leave Lise McRae to move the ball from outside. Bobcats are trying to play keep away from the long defense of the Patriots, so they do work the ball around. Good work by Henderson on that one to work her way underneath for the basket. And they're going to credit Michaela Smith on that bucket. More underneath work is Zaria Woods. Zaria Woods. Woods having a day out on the floor. Woods along with Lauren Taylor. Woods with 12 points on the day. Taylor with 14. Quality defense from the Patriots. Kiana Lee on the steal. Gilmore with the Euro step. Move underneath. Great work by Gilmore on the Euro step to knock down the lay-in. Great fast break. It started off at Kiana Lee's steal. FMU's defense is starting to get charged up, but instead, a knockdown. Michaela Smith, two-pointer to slow things down. I think the Patriots thought they had possession. You heard the rumble of steps of players trying to return on offense, but they hadn't corralled the ball yet. Easy bucket by Smith. Gilmore works away underneath again, and she puts her hands up saying, hey, I can do this. Well, nice work, 2 possessions in a row, 2 buckets for her. The Euro step on the first possession. They're working away underneath for the basket. Bobcats moving the ball around. Oh, driving the lane. Great work driving the lane is Malika Myers, but defended well is the Patriots. And we'll await the call out on the floor. And it's going to be a technical foul against Zaria Woods, number 15. So when we come back, we'll see free throw opportunities for Lisa McRae. Patriots have a 48-27 lead.
This is Conference Carolinas.
So we've made it well past the media timeout here in the third quarter. Now 3:52 to go in stanza number 3. FMU with a commanding 48-27 lead. However, prompting the media timeout was a technical foul against Zaria Woods of the Patriots. So the Patriots are going to have to regroup while Lise McRae gets just what they want. They get a stoppage of the clock with a chance to score some points. The Patriots still continue to hit from a tremendous field goal percentage clip. They are hitting at nearly 46% of their shots from the field. That is a 16 for 35 clip. Now, they did only just hit their first three-pointer of the game. That a tray from Anaya Oliver. So Michaela Smith knocks down her technical foul free throws. Brianna Wright is going to inbound. Still no pressure from the Patriots on against that inbound, so they will not pressure the inbound at all. Instead, Michaela Smith now handling the ball with Jessica Henderson off the floor. Michaela Smith works her way underneath. No problem for Michaela Smith. She's going to take it on all herself. Patriots had eyes on her making the dish, so she goes ahead and lays it in. Nice work by Michaela Smith to knock that one down. Malaya Owens up at the point, over to Lauren Taylor. Richards whips it around. Lauren Stanley back to Taylor. Good ball movement by the Patriots. Taylor decides to take a three-point shot. All 3 of these. Lauren Taylor knocks it down. That's an easy back pedal back on defense when you've knocked down that tray. Good work by Lauren Taylor. Taylor has had her way underneath, so now knocking down the tray is Taylor. Back in possession is Lise McRae. Working the ball around. Michaela Smith handling nicely over to Tylen Smith. Also underneath, Michaela Smith can't quite make it, so instead Tylen Smith with the knockdown on the rebound. Good rebound from Tylen Smith. And Tylen Smith with the score. So for Tylen Smith, those are her first points of the day. Credit her on a block on that one and a rebound. Lauren Taylor decides to turn and shoot. Tylen Smith with another rebound. So Tylen Smith starting to get on the score sheet and stat sheet here late in the third. So Malia Owens on defense does work trying to slow down Michaela Smith, who is gaining momentum nicely. Michaela Smith knocks it down, so a chance for the and one is Michaela Smith. Entering the game is Aurora Roberts for Lees McRae. Also in the game is number 34, Morgan Gray, the sophomore from Pasadena, Maryland. So the Patriots have possession, trying to work their way around underneath the rim to no avail. Steal for Lees McRae. Good work working down the line. Aurora Roberts working her way down the sideline, trying to get down to her half of the court, and instead the foul from Jasmine Stanley while working that ball up. Patriots now putting a little bit of pressure on the inbound. LMC has cut this deficit to 16. Good screen up top by Tylen Smith. Frees up a little bit of space, and that's the score by Michaela Smith. Michaela Smith starting to gain a little bit of momentum. Michaela Smith now with 12 points on the day. Patriots are going to be content. They're not going to slow things down. Malaya Owens is going to kick it out all the way on the outside. In and out is Janiyah Haygood. Malaya Owens trying to handle things, trying to get the ball. Great defensive work and effort on the side of the Patriots. So the Patriots are going to keep possession here. Janiyah Haygood with the inbound. Inbound pressure from the Bobcats. Haygood doing a very good job not going for the first option, but trying to generate some offense, trying to get that ball into Stanley. It's going to be a foul on the reach-in. Morgan Gray on the reach-in, reaching in to try to stop that inbound. Another inbound from Haygood, no problem. That ball out to Richards. Richards picks up her dribble. Underneath to Lauren Taylor. Back to Richards. Possession back to Lees McRae. Lees McRae's Brianna Wright with a little bit of a shake and bake, trying to work her way in between the circles. Foul against the Patriots. So that's going to be Jasmine Stanley with a foul here with about 1:05 to go in the third quarter. Lees McRae closing the gap quite a bit. FMU had a lead of as many as 21 points in this quarter. Lees McRae has sliced that down to a 14-point deficit. Rainbow shot from Aurora Roberts doesn't go down. You can see the Lees McRae faithful were standing and excited to see that ball go down, but instead Zaria Woods underneath and the and one. So Zaria Woods very fired up to get that ball to go down. So Patriots going back to work underneath, and that's the right thing to do. Playing underneath and moving that ball underneath to Zaria Woods and also to Lauren Taylor in the first and second quarters really paid dividends. Sure enough, dividends to Zaria Woods on that one with the knockdown. Woods will get the opportunity. Woods knocks down the free throw. So back up the court is Brianna Wright. And to no avail. Good defense by Stanley. Now, Stanley was defending against Aurora Roberts, and I like the effort and the excitement from Lauren Stanley to try to defend there. However, she just got a little bit too aggressive. The result is an Aurora Roberts opportunity at 2 free throws here. And anything that Lees McRae can do to score with the clock stopped is clearly to their advantage. They're trying to do anything they can to get back into this game. 39 seconds to go, and the lead is cut to 15. And number 15 cut that lead to 15. Aurora Roberts makes both ends of her free throws. Patriots bring that ball back up now. A little bit more pressure on the side of Lees McRae. Lees McRae has switched to more of a man defense. Lees McRae had been going zone for a good chunk of the first quarter and all of the second. Now switching back to that man. Dribbling underneath, trying to make things work is Anaya Oliver, and she's going to make it worth. It is a foul against Brianna Wright. Now, I wouldn't call it a tripping foul technically. However, her foot was out and in the way, essentially tripping up Anaya Oliver. That's going to prompt the foul. That is the 4th foul for Lees McRae. So one more, and the Patriots will be then in the bonus. For FMU, FMU already has tallied their 5th. And the touch by Lees McRae. Oh, and Lees McRae picks up the dribble. Instead, work by Lees McRae underneath, and the big block from Anaya Oliver underneath. I think that for number 22, Brianna Wright, she thought she had the lay-in, but instead Anaya Oliver said, get out of this house. So it's going to have to be a fast inbound with 0.9 seconds to go. Lees McRae does get it off and just barely misses at the buzzer of the 3rd quarter. So after 3, Patriots have a 15-point lead. They lead 54-39. When we come back, the 4th quarter here at the Smith University Center.
The Swamp Fox Club is a fundraising arm of the Francis Marion University Athletic Department, and it supplies assistance to all 14 intercollegiate sports. On behalf of the student athletes at Francis Marion, I would like to thank all those who are members of the Swamp Fox Club for their support.
Thank you.
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 So after 3 quarters, the Patriots have a comfortable 15-point lead. They lead 54-39. Now, Lees McRae with easily their best shooting performance of the quarter of each of their 3 quarters. They hit at a 50% clip. That's part of why they took a bite into the lead. And for the lead for the Patriots, which was as great as 21 earlier on. For the Patriots, they hit at a 46.7 field goal percentage clip, so nearly matching Lees McRae, but Lees McRae showing a little bit of life here late in this game, now entering the 4th quarter. Trying for a shot is number 20, Lazaraga. Lazaraga on the miss. Down underneath to Zaria Woods, and again, Zaria Woods knocks it down. So a quality dose of bigs underneath for the Patriots has been the greatest reason for the Patriots' advantage today. They now lead by 17 points. Working the way around at the elbow and working her way in. She's going to do everything she can is number 15, Aurora Roberts. Roberts doing everything she can to get to the line. She does so, almost knocks down the lay-in, but instead it's going to be a foul against Zaria Woods. Zaria Woods foiling the opportunity for Aurora Roberts to try to get the and one. Instead, she'll have 2 strokes at the line. She knocks down the first. Here comes the second. Oh, a bit of a mistouch on the side of Aurora Roberts. That shot did not look like the others that she had made earlier in this game. The result is a miss. Haygood now with the ball for the Patriots. Work it over to Scarlett Gilmore. Gilmore in and out. You hear her squeal, knowing that she had a good look and a good shot at it. The ball nearly fell, but not quite enough. Patriots get another possession. Zaria Woods is going to do her work underneath. Over to Stanley. Anaya Oliver, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Rebound to LMC. Bobcats do not have numbers there. Good numbers by the Patriots to stop the fast break for Lees McRae. Lees McRae will have to set it up. Destiny Johnson with possession of the ball, working her way down underneath, trying for an easy one. Easy fast break for Scarlett Gilmore. She comfortably lays it in for 2. So the Patriots have opened up to an 18-point lead. The lead was down to as few as 14 earlier on in the 3rd quarter. The Patriots have come out ablazing here in the 4th, thanks in part to Zaria Woods and the fast break from Scarlett Gilmore a moment ago. Good drive by Destiny Johnson there to knock down a bucket. And there was nothing the Patriots really could do there. They were really well defended. If they did much more on that, they would have been called for a foul. That's not what the Patriots want there. They want to defend cleanly here with such a big lead and less than 8 minutes to go in the game. They're more than happy to use as much clock as they can. Any foul means a clock stoppage, not what the Patriots want. Gilmore tries for the circus shot. That one won't do. Possession back to Lees McRae. Henderson over to Aurora Roberts. Roberts' shot clangs off the rim. Zaria Woods with the rebound. Oliver brings the ball up. Zaria Woods. Haygood. Haygood loses the handle, gets it back. Gilmore decides to step back and knock down the tray. Almost gets it. Players falling left and right, stumbling at every turn there to try to get possession and get back and get collected. Lees McRae with the ball. Raindrop shot for Destiny Johnson doesn't quite go. And Oliver more than happy to slow things down. She's between the circles. She's going to milk the clock just a little bit. Now under to Zaria Woods and then to Gilmore. So Woods to Gilmore, and I like that play. Oliver to Woods. Woods slips it underneath to Gilmore. Gilmore driving to the lane. She is not contended at all. She knocks down the lay-in. Henderson, the point guard for Lees McRae, flips it underneath to number 15, Aurora Roberts. Another foul against the Patriots. That foul against Janiyah Haygood, and the call is that the hand hit the head of number 15, Aurora Roberts. Several changes for both squads. Kiana Lee coming in and getting more action out on the floor for the Patriots. Lauren Taylor back in the game. Aurora Roberts with her free throw opportunities. In and out with 6:10 to go. Lees McRae running out of time. They've shown signs of life throughout this game, have the Bobcats. They've played some reasonably good defense, but they've had a hard time defending the bigs of the Patriots in Zaria Woods and also number 32, Lauren Taylor, who have pretty much had their way underneath the rim most of this game. For Lees McRae leading the way, and you've heard me call her name quite a bit today. Michaela Smith, 14 points for the Bobcats, 12 points for number 5, Destiny Johnson. 3-point stroke from number 20, Jada Richards. All three of these for Jada Richards. Quality stroke here, and I had the best view in the entire building of that shot. Perfect stroke by her. Nothing but net. Great stroke. 3 points for the Patriots. Patriots have opened up a 20-point lead. We're nearing the halfway point of the fourth quarter, and it's an open shot for number 3, Michaela Smith. Smith knocks that one down. Bringing up the ball is number 20, Jada Richards for the Patriots. I like that Richards looked over her shoulder to make sure that she had an eye on the Lees McRae defenders, and instead a steal. Jessica Henderson is going to take care of business. So Henderson with the steal, stealing that ball really from Richards, and then the result, an easy bucket for Jessica Henderson, knocking the ball down, the Chester, Virginia native. Fouls against Jessica Henderson. So the Patriots will bring the ball in. Now we're getting pressure from Lees McRae on the inbound. Scarlett Gilmore was being pressured. She decides to take that ball back out. Smart move by Gilmore. If the look isn't there for her, then there's no point. Instead, drive the lane. Scarlett Gilmore getting hot late here in the fourth quarter. Scarlett Gilmore now with 14 points on the day. Air ball by Lees McRae is still possessed on the rebound. And will actually not be credited as a rebound, but instead just a pass. Possession back to the Patriots. And Oliver brings the ball up. More than happy to keep things slow here. The Patriots strong, first time that the Patriots have been blocked on that underneath shot. Lauren Taylor blocked and really, really stuffed physically underneath possession back to Lise McRae. Kiana Lee doing some work on the defensive side, and we're going to get our media timeout with 4 minutes and 9 seconds to go here. Patriots have a stupendous 18-point lead, 65-47. We'll see you on the other side. And I welcome you back to the Smith University Center. Francis Marion with a commanding 65-47 lead. A victory today would mean 2 wins in a row. The first 2 victories for the Patriots, the Lady Patriots, in Conference Carolinas play. A victory today would take them to 2-3. Yesterday, the Patriots were victorious over first place King, 89-70. That was Pearl Moore night. That was when yesterday Francis Marion recognized the nominee and inductee into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, Pearl Moore, former FMU basketball player, the women's NCAA scoring leader still to this day. She tallied 4,061 points in her career for the Patriots. Big pressure as we return from Lise McRae. Full court pressure. First time we've really seen that since the first quarter. Patriots break that nicely. Anaya Oliver now with possession of the ball. Oliver to Richards. Richards defended by number 23, Malika Myers. Taylor's going to go ahead and toss it up. Instead, the foul is going to get called against Tylen Smith. So Tylen Smith doing everything she can to defend against Lauren Taylor. It wasn't enough. She did make contact with Taylor. Taylor's going to get 2 free throw opportunities. Another knockdown on the free throw by Lauren Taylor. Misses on the next, so she has hit 6 of her, she's 6 for 9 out on the floor today, free throw wise. Good put back finish by Kiana Lee. Kiana Lee with the rebound off of the free throw miss. Lee steps in with a bucket. Nice work by her. Lise McRae back in possession. Good rebounds on the side of Lise McRae. Lise McRae gets a second rebound. Lise McRae finishes things off. Malika Myers with another bucket. Jada Richards with the ball, the freshman from Douglasville, Georgia. She picks up her dribble, so now pressure from Lise McRae. Instead, underneath to Lauren Taylor. Out to Gilmore. Gilmore with a solid fourth quarter, scoring nearly at will. Kiana Lee attempts the three-point, but just misses. That ball off the rim. Jessica Henderson to bring things back. Lise McRae is just trying to generate whatever offense and opportunity that they can here and try to gain momentum. However, things have not really gone LMC's way throughout this game. They had a heck of a time knocking down shots. They've generated a few opportunities, but they can't seem to knock them down. I think that's the difference in this game. FMU with a commanding 19-point lead. And Oliver is going to go ahead and throw up a three-pointer, rebounded by Richards and maybe Lee. Richards is going to take another tray. I don't like the strategy change for the Patriots. Patriots have done well with mid-court shots, 12 feet and in, and also underneath the rim. So now these three-point attempts are kind of changing the philosophy of the Patriots late now with 2 minutes to go. Tylen Smith knocks one down from the free throw line. That's not a free throw. Those are 2 points for Tylen Smith. Nice work by her. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor with 1:56 to go. FMU with a 68-51 lead. Thanks for joining us on the Patriot Network.
The world is changing, and Francis Marion University is leading the way as it prepares the young men and women for the future. We've added 5 new classroom buildings and 13 new academic programs in the past 6 years, and more are on the way. We're preparing to build a new environmental research center. We're expanding programs in engineering, business, education, healthcare, and the arts and sciences, and we're adding new fields when they're needed. When tomorrow comes, we'll be ready. Best of all, our students will too.
So with little under 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, Patriots have a 17-point lead. It is Francis Marion 68, Lees McRae 51. Lees McRae at risk of remaining without a victory to their credit. They come into the game 0-3 in Conference Carolinas, 0-5 overall. For the Patriots, they come into this game 1-3 in Conference Carolinas, 2-4 overall. So a victory obviously would up their numbers in Conference Carolinas to within 1 game of 500. Very key as they work their way into the early parts of Francis Marion's inaugural season in Conference Carolinas. Inbound pressured by Lees McRae. Good defense by Lees McRae, and Aurora Roberts stopping the inbound from Lauren Taylor. Lauren Taylor will have to do it again. Great work by Roberts. Kiana Lee tosses the ball down the court, down to number 30, Maisha Huggins with her first court time of the game. Malaya Owens underneath, back to Owens. Jasmine May with the ball. Back to Malaya Owens. Owens works her way underneath, but the ball is stolen. Possession to Lees McRae. And defending as best she could was Maisha Huggins, but instead Malika Myers with the bucket on the fast break. 3-point opportunity for Maisha Huggins, her first attempt of the game. Rebound from Lauren Taylor. Taylor makes no mistake. And in fact, rebound from Kiana Lee over to Taylor, then Taylor knocks that bucket down. 1 minute to go here. The Patriots looking comfortable with a 17-point lead, make it a 15-point lead. Good effort from Lees McRae. Lees McRae pressuring the ball in the full court. Now, I do like that strategy from Coach Keith Jennings, but I do think that he triggered that strategy just a little bit late. Pressuring the ball in the full court has caused problems for the Patriots when they have done so, and in this case, the result, possession back to Lees McRae. Another bucket for Destiny Johnson. We'll see more pressure. Malaya Owens is able to bring the ball up. She's going to use as much clock as she can. Slip it underneath to Lauren Taylor. And Lauren Taylor just continues to do work for the Patriots. Lauren Taylor now up in the 20s. She has 20 points even for, make it 22 points for the Patriots. Lees McRae moving the ball around nicely. A late shot from the Patriots. Kiana Lee comes up with the ball. And at this point, Lees McRae is going to call off the defense, and Patriots are going to be satisfied to work the clock. You see and hear the crowd of the Patriot faithful cheering as the Patriots are going to come away victorious. FMU with the win, 72-57. Kiana Lee fakes that she's going to take the shot. Classy move to not do so. Patriots victorious, 72-57. So the Patriots move to 2-3 on the season, 3-4 overall, and winning both of their home games yesterday and today. Yesterday against then first place King, and today against last place Lees McRae. Patriots up to 2-3 in the conference. For Lees McRae, 0-4 in the conference. Lees McRae is next at conference on December 11th. That's a 2 o'clock tilt. And for the Patriots are back in action. They're going to go on the road. They go to Chowan on the 15th. They'll play that game at 2, December 18th at Southern Wesleyan. They'll be back home next year. That's January 4th for a home matchup against Belmont Abbey. That's a 5:30 tilt. Quick tally of statistics here, and then we're going to thank you for joining us. 16 points for Smith 12 for Myers, 14 for Johnson in the Lees McRae defeat. Leading the way rebound-wise, 8 rebounds for Myers. And for Francis Marion, several players in double digits. How about 22 from Lauren Taylor, 19 from Zaria Woods, 14 from Scarlett Gilmore. Gilmore with a fantastic fourth quarter. She knocked down several buckets, including a couple of including one three-point shot that she did actually make from three-point line. So Patriots victorious 72-57, really in part to excellent field goal shooting. Patriots with a 44% shooting clip, 35% for Lees McRae, but Lees McRae did not exceed the 20s in field goal percentage until the second half began. So thanks again for joining us on the FMU Patriot Network. Patriots victorious 72-57. Please join us here in just a little bit for FMU men's basketball. FMU men's basketball is set to start at approximately 4:05. We'll see you then.